How do you stumble across the unique exercises that you can call like the meadow rows? Because I'll be honest, when I hear of kind of trainers and they say they kind of adopt this exercise as their own, I think sometimes they do it just for the sake of coming out with something different. Like, oh, do a shoulder press on a leg press machine. I'm thinking, really? Can't you just use a shoulder press? I sometimes feel like they're just doing it to have a gimmick. Where do you get the where do you get the ideas to do these exercises? And do you think are they a gimmick? That's what I'm asking.
Well, the way I get those thoughts is because I sucked, right? So
right.
I had a terrible back. Mm-hmm. If you look at pictures early in my career, I had a very poor back, and I did the Lee Haney routine. I did the pull downs. I did the barbell rows. I did everything Lee Haney said.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for me. And it's not because exercises didn't work. It's because they just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of one-arm barbell rows that I've kind of popularized as well. That's a completely different kind of row. I've got different kinds of pull downs that are a little different. But the answer is I had to think of something a little different because what I was using wasn't working.
Yeah.
And, I hear a lot of these people say, well, just do this. Just do this. All you got to do is benches, squats, and deadlifts.
Yeah.
Well, that's great if it works for you, but it didn't work for me, and it doesn't work for everybody else.
That's what I was like for many years. It was like I did the same leg workout for like 20 years. It was squats, leg press, leg extension. And I pretty much stuck with that because I believe that's what I was told. That's what Eddie Robinson did. That's what, Kevin Levrone did, and it'll work for me. And it kind of did, but I think maybe there was, especially when getting ready for a show, maybe there is a better way to sort of build your physique, with different techniques.
Well, I think there is, and I keep up to date on the science, and there's a lot that has come out on training as well. But I think more than anything, what I've figured out over the last, amount of years is that there are just certain exercises that work really well for people. So you got to find those exercises. Those back exercises that you're mentioning work really well for me. I ended up having a really thick, wide back later in my career, and I think that's the key. I think the key is you just forget what other people are doing, find the exercises that work for you, and then you got to figure out what intensity to work at. Like on leg. My favorite exercise is always squats. Like,
yep, love them.
I'm built to squat. I have a short femur. I have a wide pelvic girdle. Like, I squat around 800 pounds.
800 pounds.
I mean, I powerlifted. I've got a YouTube video of me powerlifting 6 plates for reps with just a belt on.
Not using those Gold Gym fake plates, then. You promise me?
I don't remember having any fake plates.
That's I'm just joking. Yeah.
I could do an 800-pound squat now, but it would involve a lot of fake plates. Sure.
That's a really good answer.
But I
fantastic.
love squats, but I'm built for them. Some guys don't feel that comfortable under the bar doing a squat. And then I got to a point where I got old and beat up, and I can't squat with a bar on my back anymore, so I had to adjust. And you know what? When that happened, it was in 2013. I was still squatting. I remember Antoine was training with me. Antoine, you asked people to work with me. Antoine won his pro card in Canada training with me.
Okay.
Antoine was actually going to move here, and I was going to mentor him and coach him. And then that's when he kind of fell off the deep end. Yeah. And I'm glad to see him back. But Antoine was here, and Antoine will tell you, I was squatting 500 pounds for 10 to 15 reps every week.
Wow.
And then in the next year after that, all of a sudden, I couldn't even put a bar on my back. It just didn't feel right. So I had to start doing more pendulum squats, more hack squats, and my legs got even bigger. I'd stopped squatting, and my legs actually grew more.
Wow.
So I think sometimes we get in our head this impression that we have to do certain exercises, but
I was guilty of that. I was guilty of that.
Work for you.